Well, here it is. Philips Electronic Engineer Kit EE1003. I had one just like this when I was 11 years old, probably my 11th birthday. Actually, it might have been my 12th birthday, a long time ago. But anyway, let's have a look inside. When I bought this, the only things that were missing were one capacitor, so I've done a bit of a bodge there with that one. And this plastic spacer for the tuning capacitor was missing as well. But it was easy to make up a new one. 3 transistors, germanium diode, all the springs and things, clips. What's under there? Oh, more springs, resistors. Here's a light dependent resistor. The one I had when I was a nipper had a sort of lever switch, not a push button, but I'm pretty sure that is original to this set. Right then, here we go. Time to make something. Let's have a look under here. Here's the manual. These are all the cards for making up the circuits. Now, whoever had this before, they only made up the 2 radio circuits, C1 and C2. Oh, there they are, yeah, that's it. There's C1 and there's C2. And they also made up D6, which is a burglar alarm. So what they've done basically is make up the interesting circuits and not bother with the boring ones. Well, there's 24 circuits you can make, but some of them are actually pretty boring, or at least they were boring to 11-year-old me. There's 3 different types of amplifier. 2-stage gramophone amplifier, push-pull audio amplifier, 3-stage amplifier with feedback. So well, if you're really into electronics, obviously they're interesting, but basically they all do the same thing. And I didn't have anything to plug into them anyway, so I didn't make those. Oh, we got Morse code training set, telephone amplifier. I made that. Generator for telephone signals. That made the same noise as your phone does when you pick up the receiver. So that was a laugh. I made that one. In the middle we've got a section of this, that and the other, showing our very handsome young man doing a few electronics experiments. And then we get back to the circuits, and this is the interesting bit. C1 and C2, the 2 radios. I definitely remember making C1, it's a medium wave radio, and I'm pretty sure that worked alright. C2, I can't remember that one working very well. I think that needs a dipole aerial. I probably had a bit of trouble with that one. The other circuits we've got, well, these are using the light dependent resistor. And then we've got at the end here, we've got a wetness indicator, a time switch, another time switch, a measuring bridge and a light meter. I definitely didn't make the measuring bridge. I don't think I made the wetness indicator either, but I probably did the others. But anyway, the radios are the interesting ones. So if I look up the radio C1 in this list here, where is it? There we are. So circuit C1, front card B, overlay 1. Front card B, overlay 1. Let's see what we've got. Front card B. They don't have letters on them. But it must be that one, because that one's got connections for the aerial and earth on it. And I said 1, didn't I? So that'd be that. Oh, that'd be that one. Yeah, I can see the 1 on that one. Okay, so it's those 2. Right. Okay. And it should be easy to put this together. Oh, hang on a minute. I think that's going to need some washers. Right, this time let's get it right. So that's the speaker, so that'll be at the bottom. That goes like that. That goes like that. Then this, shiny side up, goes in here. Right. That's it. In you go, go on. Right, that's that then. So that's the front panel, and that goes over there. Presumably it tucks behind that a little bit. Okay. Well, there's no diagram in the instructions showing whereabouts this should go on the board. But there's the battery, so leave a bit of space for the battery there. That's the aerial terminals there, and there they go here. So about there, it seemed to be right. That'll do. In go the little clips. And their springs. Ooh, quite stiff. I should do a bit of fast forwarding now, I think. Well, that's all the springs in. There aren't any springs in these holes here. That's where wires go through. Right then, I'll just put the speaker in now. The speaker's held in with the same little clips that hold the components in. Actually, the speaker's quite unusual because it's 150 ohms. Much more than the usual 4 or 8 ohms. If I remember correctly, Philips used to use high impedance speakers with their valve amplifiers years ago, so they didn't need output transformers. In goes the tuning pot with my homemade spacer. According to the book, you need this spacer, otherwise the dial sticks out too much. The knob sticks out too much. The pot is held in with nuts and bolts. Lovely. In goes the bulb. This is a luxury set, I'll have you know. We even get a bulb. If I can thread the flipping thing in properly. Go on, in you go. That's it. Oh, that doesn't fit very well. Perhaps I've forgotten something. Well, the bulb comes with this red cover, but it doesn't really fit. Oh well, I'll leave that off. I will want the switch for the bulb though. I think I mentioned before that in the set I had when I was a nipper, this was a lever switch. And it looks like this has been cut for a lever switch. But I'm 99.9% that this is the switch that came with this set. So, there we go. In it goes. And on goes the knob. Now it's time for the components to go in. Time for a bit more fast forwarding, I think. One thing I noticed is that there's two different types of transistors, BC148, BC148 and BF194. On the set I had when I was a nipper, the 148s had heat sinks, which are shown on these layouts here. But on this set, none of them have got heat sinks, but they're the same transistors. Well, that's all the components in, apart from the ferrite rod, the coil, and the connections to the bits and pieces underneath. Well, I put the coil and ferrite rod in, but I noticed the ferrite rod is too short. Oh, I'd forgotten about the pot and volume control. Fancy forgetting those. In you go. There doesn't seem to be anything actually wrong with the original knob, but it's rubbish. So a non-original one will have to do. Perfect. Well, here's the finished radio. It's all done. I must admit I did cheat a bit. I haven't bothered with putting the bulb in. So I put the knob on. There's the batteries. And the circuit's all finished. Now I've already tried it, and it's a little bit disappointing. No, I tell a lie, it's very disappointing.
And actually mainland Europe isn't that cold at the moment, so but any wind from the east is going to bring a chip 5 to 7 degrees Celsius, which isn't far off average across northern Britain, but it is a few degrees below further south.
Now that's Radio 5 Live.
Well, it really will.
The trouble is, it's the only station you can pick up.
Of course, because it has been so.
There's various bits of interference and hiss and what have you, but nothing else at all. I've tried altering the tuning range. It doesn't make any difference. Radio 5 Live is the only channel it'll pick up. I've also tried connecting up an aerial and earth, but all that does is give you an enormous amount of background noise and all various horrible hums and buzzes.
Coming over the hill, have some big impacts of that.
Still, I suppose it does work, sort of.
50, maybe 60 miles an hour. In some locations, just little pockets. As well, but
actually, it works a bit better if I rotate it so the ferrite rod's pointing the right way. Oh, actually, Radio 5 Live is at 2 points on the dial.
I don't like sorry, I find it inconvenient and horrible. No. And I have Raynaud's, so it's always been cold. I've hated it ever since I was a child because my hands just ache.
Yeah.
I don't like snow. I find it an inconvenience. And I can't play golf when it snowed. So
Yes,
it's just ridiculous.
I hear you. I'm the same. Except,
actually, the sound quality is not too bad, but there's quite a lot of hiss. I think that probably comes from the amplifier.
And we're always on the cusp. It's really tricky to pin down. So
Oh, there's something there. Oh, there's one other station there, very faint. But that's it. But like I said, connecting up aerial and earth just makes it worse. So there it is. Now I've got the jolly job of putting the whole thing away. Now that's one of the troubles with a project like this, is that all these components, they will all have suffered a little bit, especially these capacitors. I mean, because everything you have to bend it and twist it to get it all through, through the holes. Anyway, there we go. The Philips EE1003, a proper blast from the past. And I must say, I'm quite impressed with my young self for making this thing. Because it wasn't exactly easy.